I remember finally getting some, and I remember, we would be in our room, we would get our, our beer, whatever we had to have to drink, and we would just do coke all night and party, and then realize we had a call at 5 a.m.
Stop it.
And then going to set at 5 a.m. just like strung out, just totally.
Wow.
And it was those kind of things were like almost everyday occurrences things.
Every day.
Because it was me. I didn't know how to put it down. It was almost like my dad. It was like I get to be something that I'm not. I'm usually quiet and all those things and kind of introverted. But when I was like that, I felt like more powerful and that I could express more and I could talk more. And I was probably rambling on so much that it was like, looked like I was crazy, but I wasn't feeling that was actually happening, and word even got back to my father. So he had some people on set that actually knew him or had access to him and were letting him know the certain things that I was going through. That wasn't the worst instance on that set. It was, of doing that, but it was another set where it was really horrible that I got really, really bad and almost died.
What was the story with that? What set and what was the story with that?
That was on Critical Condition. And we filmed in North Carolina as well, High Point, North Carolina. And I remember my dad stayed at the nice hotel because, he's an actor, the star of the film. And the rest of the cast and the crew were staying at like a Holiday Inn across the street. And I remember my room became like Party Central. And I met the main dealer, her name was, I think, Marty or something like that. I met her and some other people there. And we filmed in a vacant hospital next to the newly built hospital. And on each floor, I would have stuff hidden on the certain floor. So if we filmed like in the ER, I would go to the third floor.
It's not funny, but the fact of creativity, it was like no matter where they put me.
I got it.
Okay.
And I think one of the things that came to full circle was when I actually, because I would do that and then I would take Valium to come down, right? And then she was so into getting my money, she was like, all you got to do is just stop that Valium. That's what the problem is, not stop the other stuff because she was supplying it. And I think when I really knew I needed help was when I called into work, said I wasn't going to be at work. And then I get to work the following day and they said, why didn't you call? And I said, I did call and left a message. Coming to figure out I was so high that I left the message before the answering machine beeped. So they would talk and say, please leave a message at the beep. And I would leave the message and then it would beep. And then I'm thinking I'd left a message.
Wow.
So Dad got a private plane and his bodyguard, Rashawn, and a nurse flew with me from North Carolina to Beverly Hills to the care center there. And when I got to the care center there, that they thought I was, because on the plane they would give me pills just to relax and to sleep.
Yeah.
When I got there, the staff thought I was still up high, so they gave me a sedative and it made me crash. And I remember the nurse on top of me pumping my heart, saying, come on, Richard, come on back. And her on top of me. And then after that, I remember being in the corner, sitting on the floor, and I'm lighting a cigarette. And then when I came to really to focus everything, I was in the corner, but there was no cigarette. I'm just hallucinating, going through hallucinations during that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Wow. I'm so glad that you're here with us.
Yeah, I'm here too.
And I also take from that story how much your father actually cared for you.
Yeah.
Like, for him to come all the way and to be there. And can I ask you this? When you said you wanted to be like your dad, What specifically, what do you mean? Like, what was you seeing or what was you feeling?
I was feeling that in order to be apart and to feel really that closeness to him, because, he had his demons. And I think when you're seeing it, you're not understanding the fact that, oh, they have their demons. How can I be closer to them? How can I have them open up to me more and be a part of my life more and not just give me stuff
I get
and
it.
have conversations with me and all those things. So I think that was my way of thinking, like, oh, if I do this, I can be like him and he'll understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And, I remember one time, calling him up, and this is when I got that wasn't enough for me to, the second story I told you, but I got so bad and everything that I was like, shooting the crystal meth and all that stuff. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
And then was call him up and tell him what I was doing to get a reaction from him. And then I wouldn't get the reaction that I thought I should get, which I thought he would be angry and mad. And he was just like, it'll be okay. It's all right. He was very calm, and that infuriated me.
Because you wanted attention, you wanted to pull emotion.
Yes.
It's one of those things like psychiatrists would say that a lot of times if you don't give a child attention the way they need it, they're going to find it in some way.
Right, exactly.
And that's what you wanted to do, was to
that's what
pull.
I wanted to do. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm as you can see, I'm lost for words. There was something that you shared with TMZ. There was an interview you did that I was looking at, and in it you talked about, and in your book too, but you talked about being, essayed by multiple people.
Right.
And this is when you was a child.
Yes.
This is when you was a younger. Like, this is not an adult.
Right.
Do you think any of that situation led to even the drug aspects?
Well, looking back on it now, yes.
Okay.
Because those are coping skills.
Right.
You're trying to get, how to cope with everything, how to handle everything, because that the molestations and stuff started with me when I was little. I mean, very, very little.
Exactly.
And then when that's all you know, you think that you're the one that's wrong.
You do.
If you're going to tell somebody, oh no, it's me. I asked for it, or I was, I told somebody that's what I wanted, or I kind of exemplified that this is what I want in my life.